Here comes somebody, here comes somebody. Okay, we're on. Somebody else? Oh, that's Peter, so that's three.
What's up, Peter?
Yeah.
Oh, Johnny?
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. You gonna get your phone there?
Where is it? Oh, I have it in the back pocket.
Yeah, thanks for opening that door, Larry. Appreciate it. Nice, 29 degrees out here. Humanitarian you are. Thank you. Go. Some of a humanitarian of the best degree. I like it. No, we appreciate your help. Can you test that for me? Let me get a quick, let me get you online here.
Ready?
1 second. I just got to share this. Hi, Peter. Okay, and let me go outside. You can go ahead and test. Test, Carol. Okay, and let me go outside. You can go ahead and test.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Test, Carol.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Excellent, thank you.
Pictures of the town?
Yeah, they won't talk to you. They don't even care.
No, it's not art, it's pictures.
They don't even care.
No, it's something my mother-in-law must have done years ago. Sure. They're here.
Testing 1, 2.
Well, see, there's no ball diamond. Yeah.
Cold doesn't bother me.
That was another thing, huh?
Hey Larry, is there any idea when you're gonna have the Zoom meeting up that we bought last year? We paid $1,000 for, we got
We did not
laptops
pay
and cameras?
$1,000
You're
for
not, you don't, do you have any idea of when you're gonna have that up and running? It's been like 8 months.
We were waiting until after the new Wi-Fi was set up, and now we got some other items we wanna look into first. And it was not $1,000, so, don't post that live, that's $1,000.
Well, why don't you tell us how much it was?
The camera was like, $50, tripod came with the camera, and the Zoom is just a normal Zoom.
Laptop?
No laptop.
Yeah, you said we purchased one for that.
No, we did not.
Yeah, we did.
No, we did
Well,
not.
then what did you do? Not purchase it after you agreed in a meeting to purchase it?
We never agreed.
Yeah, I have it
Uh,
recorded.
Well, better check your minutes that we
Okay.
never agreed to purchase a laptop. We did not purchase a laptop.
So what are you using?
I'm sorry?
What are you using?
I was using my own personal laptop.
Why would you do that?
To save the town a few dollars until we get all the kinks worked out.
Yeah, well, I think we should have Zoom. And I think the town should pay for it. It shouldn't come out of somebody's personal pocket. But that's just my opinion.
The Zoom was purchased by the town. I was testing equipment with my own personal
Well,
laptop.
then let's get it
So what
in.
you just said was basically a lie.
Why don't we put it in place? Is that a lie that we have it in place? Or we don't have it in place?
I'm not gonna engage someone that
Oh, yeah, yeah. I
constantly lies on
Hey,
Facebook. Please record that so that I
Make the
can put it out
public look as
there.
bad as you possibly can, Larry. Excellent job.
What is that? I'm sorry?
Make the public look as bad as you possibly can.
Well,
Nobody's wa- you got
I'm
7
glad
people.
you're recording
You got
that
7
because
people
you-
watching,
Good.
and that means you should have Zoom up so that those 7 people
Yeah.
can have the benefit of these meetings by the town and not by
For-
the public.
For the 7 people watching, please watch everything that he posts because 3/4 of it is lies.
Are you saying that Facebook matters to the town? Somebody's personal posts is something that you need to address as a town board? That's called the First Amendment, the freedom of speech. And if we can't talk online about anything we want to without you guys saying we're wrong, that's a problem. Wouldn't you agree? Or do you not want to agree now that it's right out in the open? Of course not. Don't want to agree. Understood. No worries. And of course, the public can't say anything because you've taken away the ability of the public to speak in meetings. You've taken that ability away, and I hope you're proud of yourselves, because that's costing you dearly.
It had something to do with people not adhering to the rules or listening to the town supervisor.
Nice attempt.
Well.
Prove it.
Maybe you know who that person could have
Why don't you prove it?
Boy.
I have proof that you harassed me, that I called the police on you, that I filed a case against you. I have all of that. But do you have anything against me that says I did anything wrong? That this public did anything wrong? That Carol did anything
You filed
wrong?
a case against me?
Of course we did.
You did.
Absolutely.
Against me personally?
Yes.
For what?
Right here in this town.
For what?
Okay, great. Why don't you go to
I did watch
YouTube,
it and you
Town
fabricated
of
the whole
Western
thing.
Civic
See, he
Affairs.
backs down when you ask him
Remember I
questions.
told you
Boy, I love
that I
it.
had
Here we
some
go. This is
background
great.
in
All right,
architecture.
everybody. Here's the arbitrary stuff that this town does. Here you go. Listen up.
I didn't know. That was just something that I don't need to store anymore. I went and got frames
It
for it.
would look nice if we.
We're going to
did
start
it
the
on
meeting
Yeah.
in about 2 minutes.
Never seen a person lie.
Fabrication's not a cool thing.
Yep. And it's, freedom of speech does not mean that you should be able to lie on Facebook.
On Facebook. There you go. Facebook. Can't say anything on Facebook that the town doesn't agree should be there.
No, I didn't say that. No, see, there again, you're
Okay.
mixing up,
Yeah.
you're twisting your words around. I said when you physically lie. There's numerous posts out there people send me where what you're saying is not what goes on here. So I hope that you're not gonna edit this video because I hope that the people
Oh.
are watching it.
All
Yes.
of the live videos are edited, guys. Okay,
Oh, I
live
never- did I
videos
say
are
that?
edited.
Boy, here he is twisting it around. I never said that. I said, I hope you do not edit this one.
Oh, like the
Again,
other ones that I
live.
have edited? The other live videos I've edited? Is that what you're saying? It's time to start. I don't want to talk anymore because you'll have me arrested.
That's a lie too.
Oh, you called the police 3 times honest.
because you were not abiding to the town's policy.
Yeah, all right.
Well,
We'll point the folks to those videos we have on
do you
YouTube.
notice he can hear you
And we're-
talking now?
Yeah.
Well, that's because you're being very loud. And that speaker isn't on, by the way. Thank you for
Did
turning
Mr.
that on. I
Reed
appreciate it.
remembers us?
Oh, I don't know, he might
He
be
might be stuck in a
stuck in the
snowbank.
snow, yeah. I know he has to go to Rome and feed some cattle
I
down
know.
there. I think
We
he's
do
got cattle
appreciate
at
the
old
town
trailer park.
actually turning on the
Roads going
microphone
to Rome
system
are pretty
tonight that
bad.
they haven't turned on in the past for us for probably about a month or two. We do know that the town planning board and the zoning board refused to use those speakers and mic systems, even though it's a benefit to the public here. So we do appreciate the town using that tonight.
Oh, after the meeting, you wanna take the fire contract? Will you be seeing Mike, or you want
I
me
can
to go?
see him. Isn't, I don't think there's anything. Oh, is it
Oh, maybe it is. He printed it out for me, I got, I'll have to look at it.
There he is.
Excuse me. We thought you buried yourself in this snow.
Yeah.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are
Hello,
you?
Dave.
Hi, Christina.
Hi, how are you? Happy New Year.
Where's Miss Missy?
She's in her office, she's coming.
All set? Everyone please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I just have a couple of statements to make before we start the organizational meeting. I just want to thank the community and the board that provided me support and encouragement over this year. I think we had a fairly successful year getting things back in order and started, and I'm looking forward to 2025, so thank you. I know not everybody agrees with me, but I think overall the community does, based on what I've heard. And then, this is a statement on another note. I want to make it very clear that Don Peavy is not in any way affiliated with the town of Western. I also confirmed with one political committee that he is not affiliated with them. In a recent video, filmed at a correctional facility in Marcy, he stated he does some work for a local town and a political caucus. While he did not mention the town of Western by name, the video was sent to me questioning what he did for the town. People felt the inference was made that it was indeed the town of Western he was referring to. I have assured, when asked, that this is a misrepresentation, whether intentional or in error. Thank you. Now, we'll start. I'll read through the resolutions. I don't believe we'll need to make any revisions, and then we'll make a motion at the end of them, if that's okay?
Yeah, per category, yeah.
Okay. Resolutions for the year 2025. Resolution 25-001, to adopt rules of procedure of January 1998, updated, approved 6/2022. Resolution 25-002, to set time and date of regular monthly meetings, second Monday of the month at 7 p.m. Audit of bills is at 6:30 p.m. Resolution 25-003, to approve the insurance bond official undertaking of the town justice and filed with the town clerk. Resolution 25-004, to adopt the town newspaper, Rome Daily Sentinel. Resolution 25005 to adopt procurement policy of January 1992 on a sliding scale up to $35,000, revised 1/20/21. Resolution 25006 to set mileage compensation for use of motor vehicles specified town officials at 70 cents per mile. I confirm that that's this year's IRS rate for mileage, that they increased it. Resolution 25007 to set petty cash for town justice and town clerk $100 each. Resolution 25008 to set emergency expenditures for the town supervisor at $10,000 to be approved in the following month's bills. Resolution 25009 to adopt the investment policy of February 1998, updated and approved 6/2022. Resolution 25010 to set the salaries of all elected and appointed officials and the rates of wages and hourly employees, including overtime and regular pay rates subject to local laws. Resolution 25011 to adopt the traveling compensation policy for town officials on town business at $50 a day. Resolution 25012 to adopt the Code of Ethics for the town of Western officials, employees, appointees, updated 6/2019. Resolution 25013 to adopt the drug and alcohol-free policy for all the properties of the town of Western. Resolution 2514 to adopt the official bank for the town of Western bank accounts, Adirondack Bank. Resolution 25015 to adopt the sexual harassment policy for the town of Western, 6/2019. Resolution 2516 to adopt the town credit card policy effective 1/2023. Resolution 2517 to adopt the health insurance policy effective 1/2023. Resolution 2518 to adopt the public access to meeting video recording policy 12/23. Resolution 25-19 to adopt the State of New York Deferred Compensation Plan 4/24. Any questions, comments?
They look good. I'll
Okay.
make that motion to adopt these resolutions.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Now on to appointments. For Deputy Town Supervisor, Larry Merrick. Registrar of Vital Statistics, Melissa Rowlands. Deputy Register of Vital Statistics is at blank at this time. Deputy Town Clerk, Brenda Davis. The Court Clerk is Rhiannon Kaplan. Our Assessor is Steve Hunter. Dog Control Officer, Jerome Alexander. Codes Enforcement Officer, Scott Bush. Building Inspection Officer, Scott Bush. Town Historian, Russ Marriott. Town Bank, Adirondack Bank. Town Accountant, Ben Gasser. The Town Attorney is has not been filled at this time. The person that was very interested and I had spoken with, because he is in the state court system, it's a violation of his work policy to work for a town. It's a conflict of interest, so he was unable to accept the position. Budget Officer is Anna Riddell Weaver, and Appeals Officer is Anna Riddell Weaver. Now, should I do these appointments now, the people we had to?
No, let's do that.
Okay.
And we can do those individually.
So, a motion to accept these appointments,
I'll make that motion.
and a second.
I'll second
All in favor?
it.
Aye.
Thank you. Town board committees remained the same as last year. Audit, Larry Merrick and Len Charney. Buildings, Len Charney and Larry Merrick. Highway equipment, Pete Donahue Senior and Dave Schellenberg. A motion
I'll make that motion.
and a second,
I'll second that.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Volunteer board members, Planning Board Chair Pete Donahue Jr., Zoning Board Appeals Chair Carl DeFranco, Board of Assessment Chair Bill Gamella, Records Management Officer Melissa Rowlands, Records Access Officer Melissa Rowlands. Motion to approve and accept.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Our contracts, annual contracts. Western Town Library, Western Volunteer Fire Company, although Pete just pointed out that is a 2-year contract. I missed that when I was printing them
The
out.
fire company?
I thought it was for 2 years.
No, we went to 1 year, but, for the last couple of years, and that's what they wanted when we negotiated it back in.
Okay,
I'll have to check. I
Check
thought
on
you
that,
mentioned
but-
Yeah.
so
This 2 years would be fine.
these are annual contracts that will run 1/1/2025 to 12/31/2025. The Western Town Library, Westernville Volunteer Fire Company, Lake Delta Fire Company, Lawn Maintenance, Stephen Swan's Humane Society, Housekeeping Services. And then the Highway Workers Contract is a 4-year contract, 1/1/2023 to will expire 12/31/2028. So we need a motion and authorization.
I'll make a motion to authorize you to sign the appropriate contracts, and then, Pete will confirm that it's a 1 or 2 year contract.
Okay. A second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. Next, we'll do our appointments for the coming.
Yep.
All of the people that I have contacted and heard back from everybody for the Board of Ethics, which is a 1-year term and will expire 12/31/2025. It's Len Charney is the chairman, Dennis Schoenwetter, and Jamie Wilbur. For Board of Assessment Review, all members are a 5-year term which starts October 1st to September 30th. The chairman position is yearly. William Gamella has agreed to continue as chairman. And his regular term, so that's the only one. Mitchell Wilbur has agreed to be reappointed to the Board of Assessment Review to continue. On the Planning Board, Paul Snyder has agreed to another 7-year term. And April Arch Asparagus has agreed to continue as secretary for a year. That's a yearly position. Zoning Board of Appeals, Mitchell Wilbur has agreed to remain on the zoning board for another term. And April Arch Asparagus has agreed to continue as secretary for 1 year. Any questions or comments? A motion to appoint?
I'll make
Is
that
it-
motion.
I'll second Peter's motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I'll get the website updated in the next day or two with the new dates for
Okay.
those people.
So then we just have a few things to discuss tonight quickly. I already mentioned the lawyer. Our phone system. When we converted our phone system from Spectrum to Northland Communications, there has been a glitch in turning over the phone numbers. So the phone, for instance, Missy's number, the assessor's number are not in service at this time. It'll take up to 30 days for Spectrum to release them back to us. They put them inactivated without my approval. And now we have to turn that around. So that's really only our basic choice, other than considering changing numbers, and I spoke with Larry about it, and I thought put my number on the website on the front to be a contact. People know how to contact Missy, and we'll make a note of it on the website. I don't know what else at this point.
How did you communicate with Spectrum about the issue?
By phone,
You talked
They-
with someone?
yeah. They will not do anything in writing. They will not give me anything in writing. They only do it by, when I first turned in the equipment, it was over the phone because the local office doesn't handle business accounts. They scanned the equipment at UPS and then mailed it back to them. And that's all I had to do. And our IT person agreed, and there was a slip up in when everything was converted. So the porting didn't get done, and Spectrum is basically holding the numbers hostage. And according to Northland, it's not unusual. We didn't realize it until probably a week after they had been done, that we weren't getting the phone calls in here.
You can put that on the website.
Yeah, I was gonna put a note right at the front page, that those two numbers are, having
Temporarily.
issues and temporary, to get a hold of, to call Andy's number.
Yeah.
You could go with new numbers, but then it might not even be an 827 number, it might be a, who knows, 404, and then
Yeah.
everybody knows our number, so.
And Karen has been at the post office, has been very helpful. People go to Karen when they don't know what to do. And Karen, when I go in for the mail, she says she needs to speak to me and gives me the information for us to follow up on. Missy did today for somebody who needed a handicap sticker. So we're kind of covered.
Good.
So that's what we'll do there. Steve Hunter has announced that he will not be, seeking reappointment when his term ends as town assessor on September 30th. He has offered the local assessors meet on a monthly basis. He has offered to let the group know that we will be seeking an assessor when his term is finished in September. And, putting the word out there for us, for someone who might be interested in the position. He also sent me a link to the assessors and what the requirements are. And it's at the New York, if anyone wants to look, it's New York State Department of Taxation and Finance, Office of Real Property Taxes. The minimum qualifications to be an assessor are quite strict. You have to worked in the field, and it's a 3-year process, which means that we could potentially be with a assessor that's not qualified at some point in the process, and they have to show movement forward. I don't know, I can't speak for what the town did when they hired Steve, but I'm guessing that's why they went to somebody who already was in that position somewhere.
Yeah.
So, if everyone's in agreement, I'll let Steve know, and at their next meeting, he'll announce it there. Okay. And finally, Cora, the insurance company that Cora worked for wants to give us a bench. And we wanna know, they were gonna do it at the library, it was suggested it be placed here. And how everybody feels about that. Pete is willing to talk to them.
Exterior or interior?
Yeah, an exterior bench.
Yeah.
Mhm. What do you feel?
Well, her boss called and told me that the 40 years that she worked there, they want to show appreciation. And they brought up about the bench. The company's been donating to the library.
Yeah, they do.
But I guess they decided they didn't need a bench down there or whatever else. Or
We thought it might be
Yeah.
more appropriate because she was, you know, the judge here possibly locating it on time.
I don't know all of the final things, but if there would be a bench, there'd be no cost whatsoever to the town. Everything would be taken care of. So, but I would think, I would say that we all should say what type of a bench or whatever, you know, I guess there's stone benches, park benches or whatever else, something that would be appropriate, but, and then where you'd wanna place it here. But, they've offered to do that.
I think
Do you
that
have a
would-
preference where it would be?
I don't know, because we're talking about rehabbing and stuff like that. Right now, I guess maybe out front would be the best place.
Or right off
Yeah.
on the side.
I
next to the
mean,
sidewalk.
whatever, it could be something temporary that you could move it if within a year or two, that things have rearranged or whatever.
Yeah, so you're
But I-
okay having it here versus the library, that's.
Well, yes,
Okay,
that's their call.
okay,
You know, the company just wanted to,
wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
I think it'd be a nice memorial for
Mm-hmm.
her, for all the years that she put in
Correct.
and her father.
Personally would welcome your family's, Chorus family's input as to where we located as well.
I think it
And what
would,
it is, yeah,
for now, it should be out front,
okay,
if that's,
yeah.
and again, I don't know, personally, I don't know what you know, we'll say a stone bench or, a regular, I mean, they have the all-weather benches that,
Okay,
and I don't exactly know exactly what they were going, but her boss was emphatic that they were going to do something.
Maybe reach out, touch base with them,
Yeah.
see if they have any ideas as to, you know, what type of bench, what they were willing to spend.
Yeah.
You know, the town board can work with them.
okay. That's all I had tonight. Do you have something with the library?
Well, yeah, I do.
Okay.
So I was able to get a hold of, Jamie Foster at A to Z. And
I saw your report, the report.
you did get it,
Yeah.
right, yeah. So, yeah, so he remembered that he had done something, and, in 2018, for one of Alan Zelinsky's grants, he had worked with Alan on the asbestos report for the work that they were going to do. But he went through the whole building. So, it's been done, it's paid for. There was no asbestos that was found to, any extent that, we can't just get rid of it. We don't need to
Right.
hire a contractor for that. So that's really good news. Let's see, I spoke to Charlie about the painting. It's a rate job, we'll have to pay a rate, so we would have to talk to him about that before we accept his
Okay,
bid. And I also, talked about the library, bids that we received, and he said we can reject them all. I said, well, also we can reject the bid and, you know, put that back out in the spring. But he said the low bidder on the library project, we can negotiate with them, come up with a plan of, not as complete as what went out to bid, but modify it to try to fit it in our budget.
okay,
But we are rejecting all three bids.
so we reject them, but you can work with the,
Little bit,
okay,
you know, it's just talk at this point.
Okay. So do we do that by letter? Do I send a letter? Should I?
We should probably send a letter to the bidders.
Okay. And what about the paint job then? Are we gonna?
Well, we don't know the number.
Right, we're gonna talk to him, maybe he'll say, same number, you never know.
Yeah.
You don't know what he pays his men
Yeah.
compared to what the rate.
Right. So I guess that's the next step, is to reach out to him and have an answer by our next meeting.
Okay. Which will be January 13th. Christina, did you have anything you want to say tonight? No. Okay. Thanks for getting out the snowstorm. I don't have any other business tonight, if we're done. Okay. Motion to call it a night. Adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
Haven't called it a night.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion that we adjourn.
A second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for everyone for coming out in the snowstorm.
I don't think it's on Western meeting has ever been canceled.
I was trying to think back and I don't either. I don't ever remember over the years.
So that's it now, board meeting tonight. 25 minutes to go through
One thing get
that
down,
opening.
come back up.
Well, you know
setting
who
up
to call.
New processes for the town here.
Your Ghostbusters is probably my best bet. She called me to say if I'm not there, come look for me. Leave my house now, if I don't show up, come looking for me.
So, what we found here at the beginning of the meeting where Larry and Glenn there were concerned about how these videos are edited. That's a really good point. If you're the town recording these meetings for the public, but if you're the public recording these meetings for ourselves, we can do anything with that video we want. We can make these folks up here dancing elves right at those tables, and that's allowed in the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States. I could have them dancing on the ceiling. Now, would I do that? No, that's not my point. My point is this: the First Amendment applies to everyone, and I can come in here and record them and then take that information and strip it down to only those things that I want someone else to see, or myself, whoever wants to see that information. That's what the First Amendment allows. Now, Larry states at the beginning of this clip, if you want to rewind it when we're done, that we aren't allowed to edit these meetings. It's against the law or something. He doesn't want edited meetings. Now, if he doesn't want edited meetings, it's very easy to resolve. Larry Merritt could simply Zoom these meetings to you, the public, directly. There's no issues. Whatever you see from Larry Merritt's computer, from this town board, or from this town with respect to any Zoom meeting that they put out, will be what they want to show you. And that would probably be start to finish. I don't have a problem with that. But if they don't want to do this, and the public has to do it for itself, the public can do whatever they want with that footage. So they can't come at us and say we're bad for editing the contents of these meetings. Now, do we replace voices with different faces, or replace different faces with different voices, or whatever? No. Yeah, I'm not that good at AI. Although I'm sure somebody could. You folks at home could probably do that if you want, but that's not my gig. My gig is to show the arbitrary actions of this town board on a day-to-day basis, week-to-week basis, year-to-year basis now for 2 years. You've seen it all. It's on YouTube, Town of Western Civic Affairs, TW, Town of Western TV. It's all there. So you've got all of it. You can even view the video that this town board wants to hammer me for.
Coming, they set trusses today.
I can say anything I want in my own videos that I produce, and they want to hammer at me for saying that I do some work for a town, and I do. I work for this town, for me and those folks that want to watch it. Now, if you want to say that's misrepresentation, you can say it all you want. You'd have to take it to court and prove it, though. Okay? As well, she mentioned something about a political thing or something. Yes, in fact, I am in a caucus, and I do work with that caucus. So that's legal, too. Apparently, this town board wants to get into my personal and private business because they don't like the fact that I'm here recording this for you, the public, as can be seen by the way that they behave before the meeting, trying to downplay the public here as not knowing anything, not capable, and not having any ability to interface with this town. In any case, I'm done tonight. I think you're done too. Weather's bad out there. We got to get going. So I appreciate you folks hanging in here and watching Town of Western Civic Affairs. TWTV, I'm Don. That's Kara. We're heading out. Thank you so much.
Good night.